Hello, it's Ian Craigan again. Very pleased to be with you for another midweek reflection on the Bible. And we're continuing looking at Exodus this week, God's grace in a time of plague. There, but for the grace of God, go I. When we read the Exodus account of the plagues visited upon the Egyptians, as Moses and Aaron, prompted by the Lord, seek the release of Israel from its bondage, do we pause and think those words? There, but for the grace of God, go I. Here is our passage from Exodus chapter 12, reading verses 1 to 14. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, "This month is to be for you the first month of your year. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for each household. If any household is too small for a whole lamb, they must share one with their nearest neighbour, having taken into account the number of people there are. You are to determine the amount of lamb needed in accordance with what each person will eat. The animals you choose must be year-old males, without defect, and you may take them from the sheep or the goats. Take care of them until the 14th day of the month, when all the members of the community of Israel must slaughter them at twilight. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the sides and tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. That same night they are to eat the meat roasted over the fire, along with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. Do not eat the meat raw or boiled in water, but roast it over a fire, with the head, legs and internal organs. Do not leave any of it till morning. If some is left till morning, you must burn it. This is how you are to eat it, with your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it with haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On that same night I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals, and I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you. No destructive plague will touch you when I strike Egypt. This is a day you are to commemorate. For the generations to come you shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance." And so it is. The Passover Seder meal is shared in every Jewish home. The story of the Jews' release from slavery recounted through ritual, symbolism, and question and answer. Why is this night different from all other nights? So how do you feel about this God who systematically tortures a nation, ending 10 plagues by slaughtering its every firstborn human and animal? Do you instinctively add the label God of the Old Testament as a way of distancing yourself from the consequences of the first covenant? Is this even a story for children to hear? Wouldn't you rather join me in reading in Matthew, "Let the little children come to me"? In facing the story, we must recall a number of things. There is no such thing as the God of the Old Testament. There is no change of heart for God. No, maybe I'll do things differently. I am who I am. We believe in one God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Jesus is true God from true God. He is of one being with the Father. When we read the word Lord in this Exodus account, we should also hear Jesus, Spirit. But there is a new covenant, which Jesus himself sealed. in Luke, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." Our Eucharist is a symbolic reenactment of Jesus and his disciples at their Seder meal, their symbolic reenactment of the Passover. His blood shed for many for the forgiveness of sins. Yet let me contradict myself. I do think that in all of us dwells the spirit of the God of the Old Testament, by which I mean a self-righteousness that tends to judgment and wishes for the unjust, powerful or not, that they should receive their supernatural comeuppance. When I see the excesses of a Bolsonaro in Brazil or Lukashenko in Belarus leading to widespread suffering, or I see criminals getting away with murder, or people dropping litter, or not even picking up after their dogs, something inside me yearns for a quick fix intervention. Isn't that what we hear when others say, "Where is God in all this?" But we can't call on that false spirit, because we're already agreed that there is no God of the Old Testament. We have a new covenant, and Paul describes it thus: "He has made us competent as ministers of a new covenant, not of the letter but of the Spirit, for the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life." God's Spirit is in us. The Lord is ready and willing to go to work in the world, through our minds and hearts, hands and mouths. When we see the plagues of war, drought, hunger, disease, oppression that afflict the poorest people, killing more than just their firstborn, driving them to seek shelter, we also must cry not just, "There but for the grace of God," but also, "Where is God in all this? Where, Lord, would you have me be?"